It's over. The wandering merchant cat has learned to indulge in the old man. The dignified black wolf patriarch. Hegel lowered his posture and knelt down, praying that Theo would take them in. Aniclimax, as a subordinate. Hegel, who worshipped the black dragon, wanted to do so in this way, able to get a little closer to the great black dragon. However, after Theo listened to this request, I refused without even thinking about it. It was only because Hegel helped Oren. It made Theo very unhappy, and even the task entrusted by Iona the hamster can't be completed. This will not do anything to lay him down. Theo does say. Hearing this, Hegel began to complain incessantly. You're willing to accept even Oren's kind of goods. Why can't I, Hegel? Listen to Theo's righteous words. Because Oren is too rich. With that, he asked Elka to give Oren the treasures. All of them were distributed to the villagers of Neil village. After seeing that he couldn't convince Theo, Hegel was completely panicked. I don't know if I will have the opportunity to see Hegel so sincerely. So also relented. He told the other party, I'll spend a few days in Neil. If you can bring me something I like, and to my satisfaction, perhaps I will agree to accept you and your people as my subordinates. Hearing this, Hegel bowed deeply to Theo. Oh, Halsing, I also know that he will definitely try to cherish this opportunity. The screen turns. Enter the dungeon on the 99th floor of the Black Tower. Park Sejun was hesitant at this time. Aaron's grandfather told him to eat the huge seed. I'm afraid I'll get gastroenteritis after eating it. So Park Sejun took the seed and found a spark elf. The spark could spot the fallen dryad seed at a glance. Contains dark energy. Wenyan Shijun also put forward his own conjecture. If only the spark could purify the seed, then he will be able to plant it in the land. After hearing this, Spark immediately understood what the king meant. In that case, without the fallen dryad would have been born. Sejun slowly placed the seed in front of the spark. Although there is no complete certainty of evolutionary success, but he decided to give it a try anyway. With the evolution of the spark, magic works. I saw that the fallen dryad seed panel has been updated. Decontamination rate completed by 1%. It also proves that the spark's purifying magic works for him. It just takes a bit of time and effort. This also allows Spark to increase skill proficiency. Suddenly, a system message came. It turns out that today is the seed shop open for January 1st again. Mr. Park Sejun, your level is normal. Open today are 4 random seeds. Your permissions. Any number of seeds can be purchased up to 5 taps. The quantity and price of the 4 seeds are 50 black bean seeds. 5 power points. 25 pumpkin seeds. 5 power points. 500 onion seeds. 5 power points. 100 radish seeds for 1 tat. After reading the introduction of the seed store, Park Sejun was shocked. Just a month apart, the price has risen so much. Obviously, 100 radish seeds were only 0.1 tat. Gray Rabbit thought it might have something to do with what happened on the 67th floor. That is, the layer where the red locusts invaded the Black Tower. Because that floor is the largest granary. As a result, there are problems in the entire food supply chain of the Black Tower. When a locust invasion occurs on the 67th floor, as long as there's a resident of Black Tower who has experienced famine. In order to accelerate the skyrocketing price of food in the Black Tower, as the initiator of the 55-layer red ribbon incident that year, he's certainly not going to sit still. Now the 99th floor of the Black Tower has also been affected. After hearing this, Park Sejun sighed deeply. Sure enough, after the war, the people who hurt the most are the common people. Looks like we'll have to find a way to end the battle on the 67th floor quickly. But now you have to choose to buy a seed. After a moment of hesitation, Park Sejun chose the bottom 500 onion seeds. Congratulations on getting 500 onion seeds. The seed store has successfully deducted 5T from your account. Seed store points increased by 50 points. So far, 106 points have been accumulated. Thank you for using the seed store. After 30 days, you'll have access to the secondary seed store. Immediately, a seed package appeared in Park Sejun's hand. And the main reason why Sejun chose onion is that it is not only able to remove the fish, it can also be combined with many dishes. That's when it happened. Administrator Aaron called Park Sejun. It turned out that the giant bear had told Aaron about the statue dragon. Park Sejun, have you ever seen your father Anton and grandfather Kaiser? Caretaker Aaron asks where the sculpture fountain is now. Listen to Sejun tell Aaron. Since the end of the battle with the dryad, the signal to the sculpture dragon was cut off. As soon as word fell, a dark shadow appeared at the entrance of the dungeon. I just heard him constantly shouting Park Sejun's name. Seeing this, the administrator Aaron hurriedly asked Park Sejun to go up and take a look. Apparently Aaron was already in a hurry. Basically, pop-ups pop up every few seconds to urge Park Sejun. Wait for him to reach the entrance of the dungeon. I found that sure enough, the person who came was the sculpture Long Kai, even if it's Aaron's grandfather. Wait for the footage to reach the command room. Aaron's countless thoughts popped out in one fell swoop. Too bad though. This blocked Park Sejun's field of vision. I saw that the soles of his feet accidentally slipped. Suddenly, the whole person fell straight down to the dungeon. A strong sense of weightlessness scared Park Sejun into crying wolf. Fortunately, the sculptor Long Kai quickly grabbed Park Sejun. Otherwise, I would almost have to change the male lead to play. Seeing this, Kaiser Prini also sensed. It was a message from his granddaughter to Park Sejun. But it seems that Aaron was unable to contact them directly. She can only keep asking Park Sejun to pass the word. Just listen to the pop. Kaiser, who confirmed his conjecture, burst into tears in an instant. It's been so long. She finally got in touch with her precious granddaughter. I saw her grabbing Park Sejun and rubbing it on her face. It was as if he was in direct contact with his granddaughter Irene. However, this is bitter for Park Sejun. You know, Kaiser is a stone sculpture now. But Park Sejun's screams didn't work. Even the rabbits in the dungeon began to mourn for Sejun. After half a ring, the sculpture found dragon has completely calmed down and switched to Anton control. He told Park Sejun, for the flesh of both of them is not in the Black Tower. So Aaron can't give them a pop-up window directly. As a result, now Aaron can only see the picture, and through phages or other creatures inside the Black Tower, to communicate with him indirectly. This may sound a bit complicated. The portal outside the Black Tower cannot be opened. It's because there's a problem with the internal system. If there is a strong magic to support it, some administrative privileges can be unlocked. But with Aaron's current strength, she can't do that. So what is it that Aaron can do now? First of all, check the status of the tower, and find out the problem points one by one to fix them. Anton then asks Aaron if there is anything unusual in the Black Tower recently. Aaron's crystal ball can see the message of the Black Tower. Pay special attention to some red exclamation messages. Hearing this, Aaron said, he did get a lot of blue and red messages, but he's already dragged them all to the bin. Hear that? Enong and Park Sejun were like a bolt from the blue. It seems that the Black Tower bug is close to being fixed. They still have a long way to go. Park Sejun finally made his way out in the Black Tower. Who would have thought that a human would actually become the administrator of the Black Tower? Time goes back a few minutes ago. Father-in-law Anong is still giving Aaron and Park Sejun explained the principle of the Black Tower system. Told to pay special attention to the news of the Black Tower system, where blue represents normal and red represents emergency, respectively. But there's also a green alert. Be sure to pay special attention. He only pops up when an endangered species appears in the Black Tower. Immediately Anton said, the job of caretaker is to make the monsters of the Black Tower live in harmony. Hearing this, Park Sejun was very puzzled. That's for a human like me, who comes in from outside the tower. Administrator, isn't it necessary to keep an eye on it like the invasion of red locusts? Hearing this, Anton laughed, rejected Sejun's idea. The red locust invaded the Black Tower and did not pass through the normal channels, and they will cause to the lives of the Black Tower natives very big negative impact. And the reason why humans were able to enter the Black Tower, it's all with permission. You come in and fight the monsters in the tower, and take away the corresponding reward. These are all restrictions imposed by the Black Tower in advance, so there's no need to bother. To put it bluntly, it is the influence of humans on the Black Tower. It's not enough for admins to intervene. Suddenly, there was news from Aaron's side. He told Park Sejun and Anong that they were now in big trouble. A green alert has appeared. I saw that the alarm was clearly written. The green carp of Lake Tanazenka is on the verge of extinction. Hearing this, Park Sejun immediately panicked. How this enchanting coincidence now appears on the endangered species. Anton didn't panic at all after hearing this. He calmly let Aaron finish what he had taught him before. As soon as it fell, Aaron took out the crystal ball. Management mode is turned on. Suddenly, countless management interfaces popped out of the crystal ball. With Aaron's one-pass operation, the crystal ball gradually appeared with Park Sejun's name. Congratulations. Has been appointed as the middle administrator of the Black Tower. The tower's caretaker will teleport you to the 75th floor of Lake Chinka. Suddenly, a ray of light appeared out of thin air on Pu Shijun's left arm. After the light, a black dragon sign emerged from his arm. Anton said, this is the sign of the middle caretaker of the Black Tower. Encounter the words of the Black Tower natives. To show the sign, suddenly, the message of a 1-minute countdown popped up. Due to the suddenness of the incident, Park Sejun wasn't mentally prepared yet. Now he was suddenly asked to go to the other levels on behalf of the administrator. He can't solve it. Hearing this, Anton remembered that Pushijin's actual combat ability was a little. He hurriedly asked Aaron to confirm if he could bring a helper with him. Hearing this, Aaron panicked and operated the management interface. At this critical juncture, he finally found the corresponding button. Immediately, Aaron pulled open the companion selection bar of teleportation. Of course, you have to choose the one with the highest combat power. Unexpectedly, The system once again pops up to remind Aaron that her magic is insufficient. He can't designate his own partner to teleport with. However, now there are only 10 seconds left in the countdown. Could it be that Park Sejun can only go to Jinka Lake alone? I saw that Aaron did not believe in evil and chose the king of cattle and horses and the flame giant bear. The next second, a message appeared that the designation had failed. There are 5 seconds left in the countdown. There are 4 seconds left in the countdown. There are 3 seconds left in the countdown. Just 2 seconds left in the countdown. Aaron hurriedly reselected her 2 companions. Just listen to the giant bear and the warrior black rabbit. The sound of the system box popping up at the same time in the brain door. The blue light appeared. Park Sejun suddenly disappeared in front of Anton. Seeing this, Anton could only look at the sky. Pray for him silently. The screen turns. Park Sejun takes the giant bear and the warrior black rabbit. Found in the middle of a jungle. The bear and the black rabbit only felt confused. Why did it suddenly appear here? Immediately, they hurriedly asked Park Sejun behind him. What the hell is going on? Hear the words. Park Sejun quickly took what had just happened. Explained to them. Thankfully, when the black rabbit left, he also brought some detoxified green onions. Immediately afterwards, Park Sejun followed Aaron's prompts. Started looking around. They had to hurry to Jinka Lake to check on the situation. When it happened, Park Sejun was attracted by a touch of light. Could it be that this is where Lake Jinka is located? I didn't expect there to be such a beautiful view of the lake in the Black Tower. Park Sejun, who had lived in the dungeon for a long time, was stunned by the scenery in front of him. This was the first time the giant bear and the warrior black rabbit had seen the lake. But then again, both of them seemed to have been born since then. Let's go to another floor for the first time. Immediately, Park Sejun's mind turned. Forget about the task. Now the most important thing is, of course, playing the water. Immediately, one person, one bear, and one rabbit started to play happily. A bear with a childlike heart. Also deliberately transformed into a bacillus that scared him. That's it. They had a lot of fun in the lake. After half a ring, come to the side of Lake Shitsa. Park Sejun had already dried his soaked clothes. When it happened, the bear and the black rabbit all expressed their hunger. But they were in a hurry this time. There was nothing to eat. Immediately, Park Sejun led them to the other side of the jungle. If they're lucky, when you meet a local resident, you can ask for some food. If it's possible, Park Sejun also wants to go to the teleportation point to register. That way he will be free to come and go in future. Park Sejun's nose was hit hard. Immediately, he crouched on the ground in pain. I saw the administrator Aaron said. His range of activity can only be in the vicinity of Lake Jinka. It turns out that there are restrictions on the administrator teleporting Park Sejun here. It can't go too far from Lake Jinka. This is equivalent to breaking all the illusions that Park Sejun had just had. Angry, he slammed his anger on the haystack. Unexpectedly, he kicked a hard man. If you are unlucky, it's really not going well for anything. Seeing this, the giant bear looked around for something that caused him pain. He wants to avenge Baba. Just as the bear prepares to perform an open abdomen on the enemy, I heard Park Sejun hurriedly shout to stop the bear. How could it be a pineapple in the bear's hand? But the bear didn't know what a pineapple was. Is it something that can be eaten? Screen turns. Park Sejun and the 3 return to the side of Jinka Lake. It's really a happy event. Refreshed. Just kick a piece of grass, and you can kick out a pineapple. But Park Sejun is real. I didn't expect that there's also a fruit like pineapple in the Black Tower. Immediately, Park Sejun saved the pineapple head. He's going to plant it in the 99th floor of dirt. Separate the pineapple head from the pulp first. The pineapple heads are then hydroponic. When you take root, you'll be able to grow new pineapples in abundance. Listening to the giant, little bear praised again and again. He really deserves to be his farmer father. But they don't know it. At this moment, a figure crawled out of the lake. Suddenly, Park Sejun noticed something strange behind him. A giant frog monster crawled out of the lake in Jinka. Park Sejun was taken aback by the other party's huge figure. How could there be such a big frog here? That's when it happened. Aaron told Park Sejun. This may be the culprit behind the endangered extinction of the green carp in Lake Jinka. You have received a task from the middle administrator. Kill the 2,291 frog monsters in Lake Manga. Hearing this, Park Sejun was so frightened that his jaw was about to dislocate. That's 2,000 monsters. How could he possibly be wiped out? However, during this little time of his distraction, dozens of frog monsters have already appeared on the surface of the lake. He is the strongest magician hamster in the Black Tower. Iona was punched several meters away by the white cat. The white cat also wanted to make up for him, but he didn't know that his end was coming. Theo, a wandering merchant, is asleep on Oren's big bed. When he woke up, he stretched lazily. It was a good night's sleep. This bed is probably second only to Sejun's knees. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. I saw the owner of the big bed, the black cat Alon, respectfully open the door. He came to wake Theody up on purpose. because he prepared a meal for his host Theo early in the morning. It was a fresh salmon. It is also the most advanced species of salmon. Hopefully the host, Theo, will enjoy the dish. Hearing this, Theo was not polite. Grab your knife and fork and get ready to go. He even thoughtfully asked Oren if he wanted to eat together. But Oren is not the same today. He no longer dared to have the slightest suspicion of Theo. After seeing Iona's methods, he has decided to surrender completely to Theo. In the blink of an eye, Theo finished the whole salmon by himself. He began to take a leisurely walk around the mansion. It turns out that the daily life of the rich family is so relaxed and comfortable. Suddenly, Theo saw movement in the conference room. He turned out to be a hamster. Iona reprimands the black wolf Hegel used in the interior. He explored the lake for a month. I haven't even figured out the number of people on the other side. The enemy is hiding. They are even less likely to know. Iona was furious about this, but he didn't know it. At this time, Park Sejun, a Jinka Fox farmer, is facing a surprise attack from the enemy. After looking at the army of frogs that keep appearing, Park Juhant, it seems that this battle is inevitable. Only by destroying these frog monsters. Stop the extinction of carp. As soon as the words fell, the army of frogs took the lead in launching a fierce attack on Park Sejun. I saw that the giant bear instantly became larger, scored 3 kills with 1 stick. But the frog monsters came like a tidal wave. Seeing this, the bear and black rabbit turned on a double row mode. And Park Sejun was not idle. He pulled out his whirling axe and lunged at the frog monster. At this time, the frog monster that did not speak of martial virtue turned on a long-range attack. Fortunately, Park Sejun quickly squatted down and dodged. And he threw his axe at the top of his lungs. Directly killed 4 frog monsters in seconds. That's all the monster strength of his 75th floor. So, he is a man who has been tempered by the army of 99 layers of dryads. The 3 of them watched as more and more frogs appeared on the shore. Then he rushed out towards the other party in a hurry. These ferocious little frogs. In Park Sejun's eyes, he is full of experience points. The screen turns. Back to the conference room at Oren's house. Theo walked over leisurely. Let Iona not be angry. She told Iona not to deal with her incompetent man. Expectations are too high. This is clearly Theo's Hegel on the side of yin and yang. Hearing this, Ione complained to Theo. He was so angry about this that he didn't rest all night. She just felt that her brain hurt now. Unexpectedly, a pair of big soft hands lifted her up. Iona was shocked when she found out. She panicked and asked Theo what he wanted to do. Theo put her in his hat. He told Iona to rest inside. Hearing this, Iona was very resistant at first. She told the other party, I've been suffering from insomnia for a long time. However, after coming into contact with Theo's floppy hair, froze. A sense of sleepiness arose. Case. Then do as Theo says. At the moment, Iona fell asleep in Theo's hat. At this time, Hegel on the side still wanted to explain something to Theo. I saw Theo wave his hand, withdrew the other party's quibble, just before he left the conference room. I also looked at Hegel in particular. Immediately, Theo pointed to his eyes, said to Hegel, don't forget that I'm keeping an eye on your performance. This frightened Hegel and hurriedly said. He immediately rushed to Jinka Lake to investigate the information. Theo, who had just walked out of the conference room, turned his head and ran into the Silver Wolf Arca. Then he asked the other party if the things he had explained had been done. Hearing this, Elka said, Theogene had distributed all the belongings he had given to the villagers. But here's the thing. Now the villagers are waiting to see them at the door. Representative Theo listened. Theo's son. Why did the villagers see him? Screen turns. Come to the square in front of Oren's house. There are already a lot of people gathered here. It seems that this is what Elka said about the villagers of Neil Village. I saw that the villagers looked at Theo reverently. They all said that they would let Theo take them as their younger brothers, and let Theo teach them to be a good wandering merchant. Hearing this, Theo was so angry that he almost scolded. What kind of unreasonable demands these are? With that, he turned around and walked back to the house. The first is Hegel. Now it's the villagers again. Why is there always someone begging to be a subordinate recently? Listen up. Elka hurriedly explained to Theo. This is all because the deeds of Representative Theo are now circulating in the village. 99 floors can be climbed by just 1 tower wall, and won the trust of Lord Black Dragon. All up there. Theo represents you as a rising star in the world of wandering merchants. Gold medal stray merchant cat Theo. And you rescued the villagers from the famine. It has also been published. The villagers. It's a pretty big thing. My opinion. Our business is constantly expanding. We need more businessmen to help in the future. Sell crops. In it, if the Black Dragon kills the king. Words to know. Surely you will agree with your actions. After listening to this, Theo expressed his heartfelt thanks to Elka. Listen to what you, a faithful subordinate, said. I think I'll have to rethink that. That's when it happened. A raucous voice came from behind Theo. I saw a white-haired cat stopped at the door by the housekeeper. He kept shouting to see his acquaintances. Theo saw the comber clearly. Theo was stunned. Isn't this the same way that he abandoned Theo, because of poverty? The first love of Mary. I saw Mary shake off the butler's restraints violently. Immediately, a flutter landed on Theo's neck. Just listen to him blame Theo for not coming back to her with slimy words. But this is an excessive act of intimacy and discourse. Much disgusted to Theo. However, Mary is still devoted to her bitter lover. He felt that Theo was all about currying favor with him. Only then did we achieve today's achievements. Now you're back in Neil. You definitely want to get back together with me. Yes, no dialogue. Just finish speaking. The little hand hanging on Theo's body began to be dishonest. I saw another smaller palm slowly stretching out. Stopped his actions. Just listen to Iona say lukewarmly. This lady, please respect yourself. However, the next second top cut. Fly Iona out. This sudden move stunned everyone present. It turned out to be Mary. She was very afraid of mice. A reaction in a hurry. Theo hurriedly picked up the fallen hamster Iona. She didn't expect Mary to act so suddenly. Immediately, he yelled at Mary. He actually behaved so rudely in front of everyone. But the words suddenly changed in Mary's ears. I didn't expect Theo to reprimand himself for a mouse. Immediately, Mary covered her face and felt aggrieved, completely ignoring Theo, who was still yelling at her to apologize. But the little fairy Mary suffered this grievance. I saw that the more she thought about it, the more angry she became. And there was a change of attitude. When you're lost, fierce questioning. Theo is not unwilling to accept reunion with him. Case. He can only kill this troublemaker. Suddenly, Theo and Elkadon were terrified. But there is another person who is very calm at this time. I saw him slowly raise the great magician's scepter. Although it ends in this way, it might make Theo unhappy. But Iona grinned, confidently expressed. He's very close to Theo. As soon as word fell, a magic missile struck Mary's body quickly. Suddenly, a gorgeous purple energy burst through the sky. Immediately, Mary's figure disappeared into the distance. The world is moving really fast. Mary's figure disappeared in an instant. Theo and Elko were slow to react. Just listen to the plop. Iona fell into Theo's arms again. I finally got some sleep. He pounced on the shaggy hotbed again. And Theo, who saw the scene, didn't say anything anymore. Then let Io sleep comfortably. No egg. Hegel slapped Park Sejun's food away. In the blink of an eye, he knelt on the ground and begged the other party. This is the residential area of the 75-story Neil village. And in a house in the middle of nowhere, a familiar figure appeared. The Black Tower profiteer Skalam counts the few towers he has left. It's all because they can't catch the wrongs during this time. Then he asked the guy behind the door to buy more bluffing props. With that, he regained his strength. Prepare to go out and find the wrongdoer. That's when it happened. There was a loud bang in the sky. I saw only a white object. Smashed a big hole in the roof. This scene frightened Skaram. Wait for the smoke to clear. He noticed a figure appear. It turned out to be Mary, who was knocked away by Iona the hamster in the previous episode. Mary, who came to her senses, slammed the ground in anger. He had never touched a wall, and he actually planted it in the hands of a hamster. But he didn't know that he was messing with the most powerful magician in the Black Tower. It's also a case where the other party has no murderous intentions. Otherwise, the consequences are unimaginable. Mary, who was in the dark, couldn't think of any of this. He swore that he would take revenge on Theo. And Skalam on the side heard the familiar name. Hurriedly stepped forward to talk. He indicated to Mary. He's got a really good idea for revenge. After that, Mary slowly looked up at Skaram. It turned out to be a goblin. The screen turned. Come to the jungle near Lake Chenka. The Black Wolf Hegel had already arranged for his subordinates to investigate information here in advance. They found the number of monsters in Chenka Lake. It's a lot less than yesterday. Hear this. Hegel was also stunned. What the hell is going on? Suddenly, a black wolf hurried towards Hegel. Then he panicked and asked the leader to hurry to the lake to take a look. Soon the black wolves came to the shore of Chenka Lake. They found the corpses of countless frog monsters appeared on the shore. Even the surface of the lake is densely packed with frog monsters. Suddenly, a black wolf subordinate noticed a strange phenomenon in the distance. Look in the direction he pointed. Not far away, there was cooking smoke slowly floating in the air. Proved that there must be some people there who were moving there now. Hegel decided that he had to go over and check the situation. Little did he know that soon he would regret his decision. The camera came to Park Sejun's side. He and the cub black rabbit. They had been fighting for hours on end. Exhausted, they could only sit under the tree. Replenish your stamina with pineapple. Judging by the information of the system, they've only now dealt with half of the frog monsters. But the physical strength of Park Sejun and 3 of them had bottomed out at this time. If you don't have food to supplement yet, they could starve to death here. And the freshness of delicious pineapple is long gone. At this time, the bear is full of just want to eat meat to replenish his strength. Seeing this, Park Sejun could only keep comforting the giant bear. He would try to catch fish in the lake, bake it for him to eat. The next day, the message of Administrator Aaron arrived. He told Park Sejun, the fish of Jinka Lake are now in a precarious state. If you go fishing now, will exacerbate the extinction of species. These words undoubtedly destroyed Park Sejun's last hope. Hearing this, the giant bear said. He thought of a solution. Immediately followed the bear's gaze. We saw the frog monster lying motionless on the ground at this time. A word to wake up the dreamer. Park Sejun immediately understood the thoughts of the giant bear. It can't be. Soon, Park Sejun used the detoxification green onions they brought with his hands perfectly. Under the action of detoxified green onions, it should be able to perfectly counteract the toxins in the monster's body. Immediately, a scallion bullfrog roast is completed. Congratulations! Completed the achievement of creating the first bullfrog green onion roll in the Black Tower. Successfully registered the dish into the recipe. Level 3 cooking skills proficiency has been greatly improved. Your cooking skills have been successfully upgraded to level 4. Level 4 cooking skills. Successfully gave the bullfrog green onion roll a special effect. Bullfrog green onion roll with clever talent. The bullfrog meat and detoxified green onions are very well grilled. The detoxified green onions successfully remove the toxins from the meat. The ability to move freely in water is attached after taking it. Park Sejun didn't expect this bewitching. His cooking skills are now upgraded, and even gave it back. Adds the ability to move freely in water. The little bear on the side looked at Park Sejun, who was chattering. His face was speechless. Let's start enjoying the meal. My dear Baba. Looked at Park Sejun, and the 3 picked up the bullfrog green onion roll. Can't wait to put it in your mouth. Park Sejun took a hard bite of the bullfrog meat. I didn't expect the frog monster's meat to be so delicious when grilled. This is something they didn't expect. The piece of meat that I thought was chewy was very soft. There's even a hint of sweetness in the mouth. You have eaten a bullfrog green onion roll. Successfully obtained 30 minutes of underwater free movement. Soon Park Sejun and the others let go of their worries. Start grilling more bullfrog meat. When it happened, a roar came that stopped them. I saw the black wolf Hagel violently knocked off the piece of meat in Park Sejun's hand. Immediately, Park Sejun looked at the strange black shadow with a surprised expression. Hagel was only heard yelling at the 3 men. These meats are poisonous. Can't eat. However, next second, a huge figure slammed into Hagel. He doesn't allow anyone to bully his Baba giant bear. He looked coldly at Hagel on ground. If someone is going to disturb them eating, then you will be beaten up by him. Hagel's ears drooped when he heard this. Looked at the familiar red figure of the other party. He recognized it at a glance as the flame bears. Looked at. Park Sejun hurriedly stood up. Stop the giant bear. He told the bear to calm down. Park Sejun said at any time. Hagel had no ill will. He was just worried that the meat we ate was poisonous. And then Hagel saw something that broke out in a cold sweat. Is this pattern a ringing? Hagel knelt decisively in front of Park Sejun. The great black dragon. Please forgive me for my rude behavior. I am Hagel, the leader of the Black Wolf tribe. See Hagel's sudden pious attitude. Park Sejun was stunned. Screen turned. Come to Oren's residence. At the same time, it is also the seat of Theo. In the dark, Theo seemed to sense some hamster. Iona hurriedly asked him what had happened. Theo shook his head. He said he sensed that he was not far away. There's a feeling of numbness and crispiness. Iona jumped off the couch. It's someone else. That's it. It was Theo who said that. He proposed to Theo. Do you want to go to that place and take a look at the picture? Back to this side of Lake Shenka. Park Sejun sits on the shore with a giant bear. They were staring at the movement on the water. After a while, the corpses of frog monsters appeared on the surface of the water one after another. Immediately a wave erupted from the surface of the lake. The warrior Black Rabbit jumped out of the water with 3 black wolves. Black Rabbit. They've cleaned up all the frog monsters in the neighborhood. But Park Sejun, according to the hints of the Black Tower system, they haven't wiped out all the frog monsters yet. Hagel said, it's possible that the remaining monsters are hiding in the alley. It turned out that Hagel had discovered part of the frog monster. Suspicious movements underwater. They seem to be looking for a cave to hide in at the bottom of the lake. Hagel. He guessed that the leader of the frog monster was hiding there. That's when it happened. Park Sejun heard a voice coming from the grass behind him. It turned out that Theo had rushed all the way here according to his body senses. Theo, who saw the vision clearly, froze in place. Meanwhile, Park Sejun, the same goes for them. Immediately, Elka and Iona the hamster also saw this scene. It's actually the boss Park Sejun. Theo couldn't help but cry out. Then he happily pounced on the boss. For Theo, their appearance. Park Sejun was also very happy. At this time, Hegel slowly walked up to Elka's side. Explained everything that just happened. After hearing this, Iona suddenly realized. It turned out that Theo's so-called induction was actually Park Sejun. Then he sighed slowly. Theo, are you really a very special cat? It's a kind of magic that allows people to walk freely underwater. But his downside is that he can only last 15 minutes. Theo, who is very afraid of water, can't calm down for a moment. Iona, the most magician hamster of the Black Tower, said. He'll be sure to keep Theo safe for a while. Go back to 2.5 minutes ago. Park Sejun and everyone are discussing something on the shore of Jingle Lake. He told the people, now we've destroyed all the monsters we can find. But judging by the data of the system, there must be some frog monsters hiding in their burrows underwater. Hearing this, Iona the hamster was full of doubts. He knew that the area was still land hundreds of years ago, but he couldn't even find his exploration magic. The location of the underwater cave. Geez, why don't you light a real card pot with a fire? As soon as this remark came out, it scared everyone else. So, naturally, other creatures under the water will suffer, too. At this time Theo, who was lying in Park Sejun's arms, complained slowly. Could it be that Iona, your specialty is to destroy everything? Immediately, a cat and a mouse started a fierce bickering. But then the system box pops up suddenly. Park Sejun discovers that the number of frog monsters has increased bizarrely. 3 warriors. The black rabbit hurriedly asked Park Sejun if he would be a frog. The eggs are always hatching. If it's like the warrior black rabbit said, find caves and destroy monsters is their most urgent task at the moment. Suddenly, Theo said to Park Sejun. He had one thing he wanted to say from the beginning. Judging by his treasure hunt meow hand sense, there must be a treasure in the middle of the lake that attracts her. Iona also mistakenly thinks that Theo is sensing Park Sejun. Theo said, because I met the boss Sejun before. They were overjoyed. I didn't say it in time. Now he had a strong premonition. The treasure in the middle of the lake is most likely in the frog monster's lair. All that's left is to find a way to dive to the bottom of the lake. Iona the hamster said, he was able to create a protective film. Locks and oxygen. This allows them to move freely anywhere. It's been 15 minutes. Hearing this, Hegel, the leader of the Black Wolf, hurriedly said, he will take his men to guard the shore with his men. That's when it happened. Theo, the key figure of the trip, was in a cold sweat. He kept asking his boss Park Sejun, do you really want to go into the water? After receiving an affirmative answer, Theo began to struggle frantically. He would rather be beaten to death. I don't want to drink water to death. Looked at. Iona hurriedly came to Theo. He told Theo to just choose to believe him. Iona promised not to let Theo get a drop of water on it. So Theo, you just need to be a guide with peace of mind. Hearing this, Theo's little face couldn't help but blush. In the end, he naturally chose to believe in Iona. So everyone was ready to go. Be mentally prepared. Iona waved her staff, and the chant began. In a blink of an eye, a blue bubble ball enveloped the crowd, slowly soaring into the air under Iona's guidance. Now for a while, Park Sejun and the others floated in the air. This is the first time Park Sejun is about to enter the water in this way. It's still a bit of a thrill for him. But on the contrary, wandering merchant cat Theo, poor turtle water. He was scared and kept begging for help in Sejun's arms. The black wolves watched silently from the shore at the scene in the bubble ball. In the next second, the bubble ball slammed into the real card pot. Will they really be safe and sound? After entering the water, Park Sejun and the others are not abnormal under the protection of the protective film. Iona kept talking. I Focio's emotions, and let him quickly sense the correct direction. That's when it happened. Everyone was stunned by the scene in front of them. It turns out that the scenery under the water is so beautiful. It was also the first time they had seen the underwater world up close. While sighing at the magic of Black Tower, Theo's fear was replaced by curiosity. Seeing this, Park Sejun hugged Theo. Let him hurry up and do the navigation. Theo then begins to activate the treasure hunter's induction. Park Sejun and the others continue to go deeper into the bottom of the lake. Soon they cross behind a boulder. There are many traces of the former residents underneath. Theo, the natives of Neil Village, didn't know where they were from. It turns out that there is still such a place. That's when it happened. The warrior Black Rabbit noticed something unusual. He saw the trail of a frog monster not far away, and he still seems to have something in his mouth. Seeing this, Iona hurriedly controlled the bubble ball. Immediately quickly followed the figure of the frog monster. Soon they discovered a mysterious exit. This is supposed to be the hole that the frog monster has carved out on its own. The bubble ball dissipates. Park Sejun and the others found that there was plenty of oxygen here. Suddenly, Theo pointed to the hole in front of him. There's a very strong attraction there. If you guess correctly, This must be the nest of the frog monster. Sure enough, as soon as I got closer, I heard the roar of the frog monster from below. Wait for Park Sejun and them to take a closer look, only to find that the frog monsters that have not been found are gathered here. And there are countless monsters that have not yet hatched. At the head of the monsters is definitely the lord of the frog monster. It depends. The frog queen seems to be preparing to eat. And those little fish in the mouth of the frog monster. It's all dedicated to the queen. I saw that the frog queen grabbed countless small fish with one hand. Then I swallowed it in one gulp. Even after he savored it, he roared in anger. Beneath the sky, frightened, all the frog monsters below trembled. It dared to move, although I didn't know that the frog queen was such a big size. Why are you stuck here? But it looked like he was not satisfied with the amount of food. When it happened, Theo, who was watching the play on the sidelines, said. The charm of his frog queen attracted. Just when Sejun was puzzled, Theo's feet slipped. The sudden feeling of weightlessness made Theo unable to react. But the man he shot. Luckily, Park Sejun rushed over and grabbed Theo's clothes. Successfully rescued Theo, who was about to hit the street. Unfortunately, Saul's Sejun's feet began to slip as well. Suddenly, Park Sejun and Theo Iona both fell to the bottom of the cliff. Luckily, Iona cast a spell urgently to make Herculean effort to save a critical situation. A wave of dark magic successfully counteracts the effects of gravity. Park Sejun, they weren't hurt. Unfortunately, they were moving too much. Succeeded in attracting the attention of all the frog monsters. Immediately, the frog queen gave an order. An army of hundreds of frogs rushed towards Park Sejun like arrows off the string. There at this critical moment, Elka took the bear and the black rabbit and jumped decisively off a 100-meter cliff. With a single kick and a hammer, they stomped on the eggs of several unlucky frogs. Suddenly, a notification of a task update came from the system. The cause of the extinction of the green carp has been found. Destroy the mutated giant frog queen. The number of frog queens to be eliminated is 1. Hearing this, Park Sejun immediately understood. It turned out to be the ghost of this big frog. Isn't it all over as long as you destroy him? Immediately, Park Sejun rushed towards the frog queen with Theo. Iona says he'll use his magic to clear the way. Elka with the warrior black rabbit and the giant bear. It is constantly clearing obstacles for Sejun. Suddenly, several frog monsters pounced on Park Sejun. I saw the magician Iona's staff wave slightly. A huge ball of energy blasted a frog monster away. Now is the time. Park Sejun is armed with double knives. The moon step appeared in front of the frog queen. This time, he wanted to see it. What the hell is this giant frog capable of? Spinning even through the artifact whirling axe out. However, a large hand easily caught the axe in the air. Could this be the legendary empty-handed blade? But Park Sejun is not allowed to think too much. The big hand fell straight down towards him. See the scene? Park Sejun was directly dumbfounded. I didn't expect a whirling axe that tried and tested. This time, it didn't hurt at all. Just listen to a loud bang. Park Sejun's figure disappeared from the frame. Could it be that Park Sejun was really planted in the hand of the frog queen this time?